Breath of the Wild has a lot of glitches that are used in speedrunning. Today, I'm going to teach you how to do each one and where they can be used. The only thing you need to know prior to this video is that we in the Breath of the Wild community refer to the whooshy whooshy slow-mo that Link goes into when he pulls out his bow in midair as bullet time, which is what I will refer to it as in the video. If you enjoy, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, but without further ado, let's get into it. Number 1. The BLSS. The BLSS, or Bow Lift Smuggling Slide, is the most recent groundbreaking glitch that has been discovered in Breath of the Wild. This glitch allows Link to fly at a constant altitude without consuming stamina. Yeah, you heard right, and yeah, it's pretty broken. In order to perform the BLSS, you're gonna need a couple things. At least one shield and one bow, which is pretty easy to get, but you also need any object that Link can pick up over his head, which sounds like a very random and difficult condition to meet consistently. But thankfully, bombs work, and since you have an unlimited supply of them, you can meet this condition rather easily. And because of this, bombs are going to be the item you use for 99% of your BLSSs. The last condition is any platform that makes Link do this step-up animation. So any ledge that isn't too tall that Link will kick jump up it, but not too low that he just walks up. The best example are on the towers, as this little yellow ledge will cause Link to step up in this manner, meaning that you can consistently BLSS off of any tower. If you're confused on what kind of ledge would work for this, use the ledge on the tower as a reference frame. But there is no denying that this condition is the only downside to the BLSS, and one reason it's actually not the most consistent glitch for moving quickly. To perform the BLSS, first drop your bomb right in front of you. Then hold out your shield by pressing ZL. Here, you're going to press ZR to pull out your bow and immediately press A to pick up the bomb. If done correctly, Link will be holding the bomb while also holding the bow above his head. While holding ZL, you need to jump and then press B and immediately after press plus. So again, while holding ZL, press X, then B, and then plus right after. You will know if you got it if in the pause menu you can see the bomb in this position. I know it's kind of hard to see through the menu, but it's clear enough that you can tell if you got it. One thing hard about this part is knowing when to press B after jumping, because there is a specific timing. The way I remember it is through a beat. I say do 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 ch do do ch do do ch do do ch. The main purpose of this beat is to get you into this position on the pause menu. Then if you're here, just unequip your shield. And boom, Link's arm will snap back up. Press ZR to draw the bow, and then press B to cancel it. And there you go. The bomb will be on Link's arm and you have successfully entered the necessary state. Now all you gotta do is, while holding B, run up to the ledge that forces Link to do this stand-up animation, and whammo kablamo, that motherfucker floating. No stamina, and no height drop. Pretty cool, right? Now there are a couple things to keep in mind. The first is that if you wiggle the left joystick back and forth, Link will actually start to accelerate in the direction his back is facing. This is how you control your movement while floating in this state. So if I wanted to go towards Hyrule, I would need to have Link face away from Hyrule and wiggle so that he accelerates towards the castle. Now the state isn't invincible. There are 3 things that will make Link fall and fall out of the state: pausing the game at any moment, letting go of the B button, or the left joystick reaching the neutral position. Neutral position being the position it is in naturally without you touching it. Overall, this glitch is very fun, and when you can use it, it is the optimal way to move around. However, due to the annoying condition of finding a step-up ledge, it can't be used in every scenario and is less flexible than some of the other glitches. Speaking of which, number 2, the Midair Wind Bomb. The Wind Bomb is a technique which involves Link dropping 2 bombs midair and detonating the further bomb, which will propel the closer bomb into Link and he'll go flying. To perform this technique, one thing needs to be understood first. See, normally, when you pull out your bow in bullet time, Link will go into this view, which is him taking aim. This will happen if you hold down the ZR trigger while midair. However, if you lightly tap it, then Link will activate bullet time without actually aiming the bow. This state doesn't have an official term, but for the sake of this video, I will refer to this as soft bullet time. So this is normal bullet time, and this is soft bullet time. The first step of wind bombing is to drop your circle bomb and then immediately go into soft bullet time. This is probably the hardest part for most people, as managing all the buttons you have to press can be daunting at first. But this first step is rather simple. It's just pressing L, glide forward a bit, and then press ZR. After this, you switch to the square bomb, which is up on the D-pad and left to the square. Now the key thing here is that you want to drop the square bomb and immediately switch back to the circle bomb. So L, and then up on the D-pad and left. And then detonate it, which is L. And you can see what I mentioned earlier. The circle bomb blows up, and the impact yeets the square bomb into Link, which causes him to blast off Team Rocket style. So one more time. While gliding, press L to drop a bomb, hold right a bit, press ZR for soft bullet time, up and right on the D-pad for square bombs, press L to drop the square bomb, immediately go back up on the D-pad and left back to circle bombs, and press L to detonate the bomb. Now, one thing you might be wondering is when exactly to go into soft bullet time. Pretty much anything can work, you just don't want to be too close to the circle bomb, which is why you move forward, and you don't want to go into soft bullet time too late. Otherwise, the circle bomb will fall down too far and will miss the square bomb. This wind bomb is called the Midair and can be used anytime you are gliding in the air and you want to increase your momentum and stay afloat for longer. However, it is actually only one of 3 wind bombs, and the reason I taught this one first is because the fundamentals you learn from the Midair wind bomb are all applied in the best wind bomb technique, the stationary. The stationary is the one that you will use the most by far, as it is the most flexible. The stationary has the same concept as the Midair, except that you are, well, stationary. You start on a slightly elevated ledge that is enough to get you into bullet time. You still detonate the further bomb into the closer bomb, just that the setup and timing are a bit different. To perform the stationary, you first need to hold ZL, which is the button to pull out your shield, or Z target. Now here's the tricky part. You need to jump forward and immediately drop the circle bomb. So while holding ZL, you press forward and jump at the same time, and immediately drop the circle bomb. And then, right after that, you immediately go into soft bullet time. So this process will look like this. From here, it's not exactly as clear-cut as the Midair. There are many setups to make stationaries work, but the one that I have found to be the most consistent is angling your camera slightly upwards, and you want to wait until your stamina bar decreases about 1/3 of the way from where it currently is. So if you're at full, then around here is perfect. Once you reach here, you drop the square bomb, switch back, and immediately detonate the circle bomb. So, while holding ZL, move forward and jump. Then immediately drop the circle bomb, and then immediately light press ZR for soft bullet time. Press up and right on the D-pad to switch to the square bomb. Then angle the camera at an upwards angle. Wait until your stamina depletes around 1/3 of the way, press L to drop the square bomb, then press up on the D-pad and left to switch back to the circle bomb, and then press L to send Link flying. Now you may be wondering, why is the stationary better than the Midair? And the best way to explain this is to show you. This is the Metal Box's shrine. If I was trying to complete this shrine in the fastest manner possible, I would skip the puzzle and go straight to the ending. To do this, I would rely on my wind bombs. The thing with mid-airs in this situation is that you need enough distance from Link's feet and the ground to actually paraglide for at least a couple of seconds, so you have time to drop both of your bombs. So if I wanted to mid-air this shrine, I would have to climb up these boxes and then mid-air from this ledge. But with the stationary, all I have to do is jump on these little pegs, which are present in every single shrine, and boom, I can get there. So you can see it's a lot faster than the mid-air. Number 3. The BTB. The BTB, known as the Bullet Time Bounce, and known as Bounce That Boy by some creators, is a technique in which while shield jumping you go into bullet time and land on an enemy's back, which causes Link to go flying depending on the angle that he landed. The enemies you can BTB off of are Moblins, Bokoblins, and Lizalfos. However, there is one thing you need to keep in mind. The first level of each enemy can be BTB'd off of naturally. By first, I mean Red Moblin, Red Bokoblin, and Green Lizalfos. However, all of the higher levels of enemies need to be frozen before you can BTB with them. I'm going to spare you the explanation as to why this is. If you're curious, I will leave a link to a video in the description by a great Breath of the Wild YouTuber by the name of Cleric, who goes into more detail in that video. To perform the BTB, first find the enemy you want to use and get in a position where you are high enough that you can land on their back. Next, you shield jump and go into bullet time. The nice thing with this glitch is that it actually doesn't matter if you go into soft bullet time or not. Both will work. So for buttons, while holding ZL, press forward and X to jump. then press A to make it a shield jump, and then press ZR to pull out the bow. Once you land on the enemy's back, you will go flying. While you are rising, press Y to do a shield spin, and boom, you're fucking zooming. Now, some of you might be wondering why I haven't talked about clipping, which is something that you do need to do in speedruns. The thing is with clipping is that it's not universal. Each clip requires a specific setup and can't be used just anywhere. And the point of this video was to teach you these glitches that are used in speedrunning, because one, when you sit down and learn how to speedrun, they will be easier for you to understand. And number two, these glitches are just fucking fun, man. They allow you to do crazy movement shenanigans, and they add a lot of replayability to the game. One of my favorite things to do is to just boot up Breath of the Wild and traverse the map at crazy high speeds. It truly is very satisfying. But that is going to be it for today's video. Once again, if you enjoyed, consider subscribing, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!